I'm Joanne Hines, and we're here at the Sun City Tradition, the Sun City Car Show, the 23rd annual.
And I'm Georgia Lash, and I think we've beat some of the crowd. I'm not sure we've beat all the rain. We're waiting for a partial solar eclipse, so we've got some new things happening today.
That's true, that's true.
But I do think we have a need to speed because we have got a lot to cover.
Well, I'm revved up and ready to go, Georgia, so let's go see some of those cars and talk to some of the drivers.
And hopefully we'll catch some of the crowd, too.
We're here with Dale Linder, the Club Car president. Dale, can you tell us what's new in this year's show?
Well, a couple of things. One is we, as far as the registration of the vehicles go, this was a banner year. We actually had 122 vehicles pre-registered, which is probably the most we've ever had early register. And then we picked up an additional 8 vehicles today coming through for day of registration. So we had an opportunity for 130 vehicles here. We decided to keep registration open a little bit longer just because of the weather. Some people kind of wait to see what it's going to be before they come out. So we're still going to have a very good car show, as you can see from the number and the beautiful vehicles that are here.
They're awesome. Can you tell us how many volunteers you have working for you today?
Well, I don't know about today, but in total, it took 72 volunteers this year to put on the show. So a lot of those people have been working straight through since April or May. Others completed their task prior to the day of the show. So, for instance, the people who put the flyers in the lower mailboxes did that last weekend. But yeah, 72 total. So, you know, they kind of say it takes a village. We're getting to the point where it takes a small town.
Definitely. Well, thank you for speaking with me today, Dale.
Sure.
Bob, you and Dale Kramer were responsible for trophies this year. I understand you both said we have a better idea for these. So they are spectacular.
Thank you.
What was the inspiration for this?
Well, frankly, the last couple years we've had things that look like bowling trophies. And we started thinking around, and I had heard that the wood shop, the Woodworkers Guild, can do a variety of things with their new laser. And so I approached them, and they came up with the oval design and the stands, and then Dale offered some very special wood that he had to make the specialty plaques for the 3 super winners. And the wood shop really came through with some designs and was able to turn them all out on their laser, and we really appreciate their effort.
I'll tell you, clubs helping clubs.
Yep.
Yeah, I know you guys get out there with the car club and help other clubs with your displays and things like that. So you got a payback this time from the woodworkers, and your initiative and Dale's have to be commended.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Janet, the last time we talked, we were standing in the market.
That's right.
Today, we're here to fill that market up.
Yes.
But let's start first with the absolute biggest shout out for these people right here.
The Red Aprons.
The Red Aprons. And where are they all from?
Sun City.
Okay, and there are probably, 60-some more of you that are from Sun City that volunteer here?
That is correct. I think we have almost 75 Sun City volunteers.
That is awesome.
More since we talked last.
That's right, because it was 68 a couple of months ago.
That's right.
Now, what I'd like to do is ask you, have you done a car show as one of your fundraisers before?
No. This is the first one.
Okay.
We are thrilled to be here.
Well, this is great. I wondered if you had ever done one of these before. And let me ask just one more question. Just for people who might be new, how do funds like this help Bluffton Self-Help?
Oh, my goodness. Immensely. We rely heavily on rescued food and then primarily non-perishable donations from the community. Sun City is a generous, huge contributor, and this van will fill, we need 10,000 items each week to go through our market in non-perishables. So, and the number is growing of what we need this holiday season, so this is fantastic to be here.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the true stars of the show here today. Thank you. Fred, I have been reading about this car and researching it. I heard that this was Packard's introduction to compete with the 50s sports cars, but with the twist of luxury. So, what impacted you to buy the car? Was it the sportsy part or the luxury part?
It was actually my grandfather bought the exact duplicate of this car, brand new, back in 1953. Same accessories, everything. And I fell in love with that car. And it's the first car I took a joyride in when I was 16 years old with nobody in the family finding out ever. But so I've always loved the car. And when the internet came around, I did a lot of research on it and just eventually found this and said, I got to buy it.
Now, have you had to do much work with it?
I've done, yeah, this year has been kind of tough. It's just like all of us. I wish we had Medicare for cars, you know, but yeah, so it's, I replaced the generator, the power steering unit, voltage regulator, the battery. And when something goes wrong, figure out what it is and get it fixed.
Now, does this beauty get out very much?
Yeah, I try to drive it 1,500 miles or so a year. So now that it's all fixed up again, yeah, I'll be out and about this fall.
You've mentioned some of the challenges. You know, owning a car of this age, what else can you caution some, potential buyers?
Well, when I first bought it, an older fellow had to transport it for me, and he goes, I hope you know what you're getting into. So, yeah, you got to understand that it's a responsibility, and you're a caretaker, you're a preservationist. It's history, and you want to be able to pass it on to somebody better than how you found it so that it's maintained. And I love coming to car shows. One of my sisters said to me at a car show, she goes, you got to keep coming to these car shows, because even though you think it might be a waste of time at times or a challenge, she goes, people love the car. They just love and appreciate the car. You have to share that with them.
I think you've done a great job. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Alan, these are the cars of my growing up years. A lot of us learned how to drive. I don't think we had any of these cars, though. Now, tell us about the car that you brought, because it looks like a lot to handle.
It's numbers matching 1968 Dodge Charger RT, and 68 RT stood for Road and Track. This is the original engine. This is a big block 440 cubic inch engine, and it is a lot to handle. It'll smoke the tires all day long.
Not quite that 25 mile an hour speed limit car.
At 25 miles an hour, it'd stall.
Well, thank you for bringing it. Before we let Alan go, though, we have to thank him. You had a very successful effort here at this car show. You were responsible for bringing in donor door prizes, and I heard it's a record number. How successful were you? What was your magic to get all that happening?
I just went to our local mom and pop businesses and mentioned that I was with the car club. We were going to have our annual event, and most everybody was very supportive, and hopefully their generosity and their support of Sun City results in business increase for them.
And probably because you're a very good customer and a gentleman and a scholar.
You're going to ruin my image, Georgia.
Thank you, Alan.
Have a great day.
What do you think of this car, huh? Amazing, right?
That's a luxury car, you know. You don't got a ticket with Did you see that? Yep. Yeah, I did. The little lady disappeared. Can I see the umbrella? Very nice. Doesn't look like it's even been used. It's been opened a couple of times. It's hard to get it all back together. Yeah, I would imagine. And it has a drain in it, and it's heated inside too to dry it out.
I like that car. Blue. is my favorite color. So obviously, except if I sat in that car, I would not be able to see over that steering wheel. So, but if I had a driver, I would buy this car.
So many amazing automobiles are here. There's over 130 in this Mag Hall parking lot for us to check out.
Well, Gary, this is an iconic muscle car.
Yes.
What's the most impressive thing about this model?
Well, I like it kind of the color, the Hemi orange, and the Hemi engines, the 6.1 Hemi engines, about 425 horsepower. And this is the last year that they made this engine.
What else can you tell us about this car?
Okay, this is the first edition. In 1974, they discontinued the Challengers, and this is the first one that came out. On the dashboard, it has the first edition, and they made about 7,000 of them. Mine's about a little over 3,000. One that came off the assembly line. This was up in Canada, and I think this was produced in Canada. I think 500 they made in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for telling us about your car.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, Spiro, you brought two Corvettes with you today.
Yes.
Now,
I have, the 73 is this one, and the green one is 72.
why is this one your favorite?
Well, this is 1973. In 1973, they were switching models. They introduced a 5-mile-an-hour bumper protection, and they also replaced the front. In order to do that, they had to replace the front. They redesigned it so it doesn't have a chrome bumper anymore. So this was only 1 year, made 1 year.
And the design on the car?
Well, the design, I did that many years ago when I was in automotive work, so I was doing stuff like that, you know.
And that makes it your favorite, correct?
Yeah, actually they're both my favorites, actually. Corvettes in general. You know, in 1974, I was driving home one night. There was someone that pulled up next to me, and I fell in love with it. So that was it.
Well, thank you for speaking with us today.
Stan, I have a feeling you might get the prize for being the boy with the newest or one of the newest toys here.
Well, it's a toy, and it's relatively new. Yeah, I actually picked it up in December, waited a year for it to be built, and it's a great car, just a wonderful car.
Well, you got to tell us about it. What is this beauty? I mean, we all know Corvette. Right. We're in Corvette country here.
It's a 2023. It's the 8th generation Corvette, which they call a C8, and the C8 was introduced in 2020. 2023 is the 70th anniversary year for the Corvette, so there's little 70-year stickers all over the car. But it's a dramatic change for Corvette because they moved the engine to the middle of the car. So there's a trunk in the front, which is called a frunk, and there's a trunk in the back, which is called the trunk. And the engine is right behind the seats. So it changes the balance of the car. The handling is absolutely incredible. And they've increased the horsepower to 495 horsepower, which means in Sun City you can get from 0 to 25 in like that fast.
Well, you must be a terror on Sun City Boulevard when you make that turn from Colonel T.
Unbelievable, and you can stop so quickly at the stop signs. You know, so it's the perfect car for Sun City.
Quickly and thoroughly stopping. But it's a beautiful car. Do you feel like it was really worth the 1 year effort and everything you've put into it?
Yeah. That's a one-word answer. Yes.
And we'll ask Mrs. Holt, Sandy. She agrees, right?
Well, I actually asked for her opinion on the color and the interior and the options, and her opinion was basically get whatever you want. I don't care.
You are a lucky man. Lucky man. Okay.
So I did.
Well, thank you for letting us see this beauty, even on a misty kind of morning.
It's okay. I don't need sunscreen today, so it's not all bad.
Now, before we let you go, though, we have to thank you. Stan, for those of you who don't know, he is one of our official, all year round car club photographers. You capture such Kodak moments.
Thank you. That's why I carry this. But yeah, thank you. It's fun, and I enjoy doing it.
And we'll be stealing some of his shots for our show.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott, when I was looking up the cars that were going to be here today, I loved Carmen Gia's, so I had to look this one up. And I read a review that said, a Carmen Gia is slower but prettier than any Porsche. Is that your description?
Absolutely. And I think all Porsche drivers really secretly would like to have had a Carmen Gia, but they just don't have that cool factor.
How long have you had this?
Just about 6 years.
Loving every minute?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Except when I'm underneath of it and the bolt won't come out or the. But it's an old car, so you have to.
The tale of the classic car, right?
Yes,
now, is it a daily driver? Do you get it out very much?
No, it's not a daily driver, but I take it out every once in a while.
And I see that you match your wardrobe with it as well.
Yeah, I didn't think about that this morning. Well,
it's beautiful, and it's a joy to have here in the show. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Jay, this is a typical story for classic car owners. You plan to bring a beautiful Dodge. You had worked on that car, and look what we have here today. Who did you bring?
I bought a 1936 Plymouth Coupe.
Now, have you done much of the restoration on this one yet?
Got it 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks old, so it's really a new car for you.
Correct.
Thank you for bringing it. It's a great car.
By next year to be where I want it to be.
So a year from now, everybody. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Trucks are often considered the workhorses of the automotive group, but we've got some style here. We are here with Mr. Al Phillip. Al, can you please tell us about your gorgeous electric vehicle?
Certainly. This is the 2023 all-electric BMW iX M60, M meaning muscle. One of the fastest SUVs around. It goes 0 to 60 in about 3.2 seconds. It's posted for about 288 range, but actually I get 312. And when it says 312, I mean 312, meaning that I don't get 250, I get 312. Some of the neat features of this car is the grille. It's self-healing. If it gets a scratch, get a blow dryer with heat, heat it up, and it heals itself. The roof right here is transparent. During the day, you could darken it so you could keep the sun out. At nighttime, it gets close, you can see the moon and everything else. On the inside, some nice features. It has crystals on the controls, the door controls, the dial controls, and it's fun to drive. I recommend it for anybody. I have other electric cars, but this is my favorite.
Well, thank you for speaking with us today, Al.
You're welcome. Thanks.
John, we have been out here talking before with you and your love of your GTO. You love this GTO, but I think I found that someone loves you more than you love this car, and that is Mrs. Levecki, because she has reproduced your baby with her creativity and talent. Tell us about that.
She actually surprised me with this. She has gone from here to here in stained glass in 1 year. In 1 year. She actually teaches it now, and she didn't tell me she was doing this, but just asked me for a picture of the car. So I gave her a picture of the car, and according to her, 60 hours of work to make that stained glass. So I said to her, listen, let me bring it to the car club. I said, I'll have your orders for like 50 cars tomorrow. She goes, no, 60 hours it took me to do that. So that was a one and all.
And plus, she couldn't throw in that labor of love like she did for this one.
Exactly.
John, we love you. We love your car. John is the person who made this whole setup possible. He's our production boss on getting the field ready for the car show. Thank you for all the work you do.
It's my pleasure. It's fun.
We are here with some youthful car enthusiasts at the Pinewood Derby. Now, I know the Soapbox Derby, but what's the Pinewood Derby?
So the Pinewood Derby is all about kids coming out and racing cars that they've made with their families. We give them a car kit every year. They build it, and they see what they can come up with. There's some rules to it about the size, about the weight, that sort of thing. They come out and they race all their other Cub Scout friends and see who can win. And then at the end of it, we actually have a district-wide derby where everybody throughout the area can come in. All of our Cub Scouts throughout the area can come in and race their cars and see how they do. They do get a new car every year, so it's really exciting that they make some improvements, see how their techniques change, learn a little bit about how to make the best, fastest car, and just come out and have fun.
Now, do they actually create the car themselves? Do they have, like, from total scratch, or is it like a body and the parts to the body?
So what they get is basically a block of wood and a couple wheels and some axles, and they go ahead and they shape it. We don't let them use power tools, obviously, at this age, but we do give them like blocks of sandpaper. They finish it up with however they want to do it, and then they paint it. Some of our kids, it's really interesting. Some of our kids are not interested in always having the fastest car. Sometimes they're just going for best in show.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get to talk to one of these youthful racers in a minute. Thank you for letting us come over.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm here with Andrew. Andrew, you got to tell me the secret on how to win the Pinewood Derby.
So first you want to have a wedge-shaped car just like this one, but the weights were taken out, but the weights would be in here. It helps it, you don't want to have too much, but you want to have a decent amount.
And that's the secret to winning?
Yep.
All about the weights, huh?
I won this car, 3rd place.
Excellent. Thank you for speaking with us, Andrew. Well, we got our cars up there, Georgia. I'm going to beat you.
I feel some hostility here. I'm going to go with the goodness of my heart because this is a charitable function here today. So I'm going to say that the goodness of my feelings are going to get my car down faster. And I write the script for this show, so no matter how this turns out.
No. No. No.
Okay. All right. Let's let the best co-anchor win.
Yeah. Okay. Let it rip.
Come on! Come on! Whoa! Woo!
You won again.
I know. 2 in a row.
Great.
So, Gene, I just got done racing. That is so much fun. We've got the Pinewood Derby here. You brought this here for the car club this year. What made you think of this?
Yeah, I did. I came up with the idea. We're out at their March regional races. Right. And I happened to mention to Steve and Roger, what would be fun is to bring them out. And they said, well, it's your idea. Are you going to run it? And I said, yes, I'll run it. And so we've been working for the last 4 or 5 months and trying to coordinate it, getting in. What we want to do is next year we're going to promote it more. What I want to do is get the community involved. We're going to buy some cars. We're going to sell them and get some donations in for the Scouts. And all of the Sun City residents, they can relive their dreams.
Steve, 23 years. Is the excitement still here for the car club?
Absolutely. Take a look around. We've got 140 some spots, and we got 140 some cars. So this has been great. The weather's going to turn to sunshine pretty soon. Everybody's having a ball.
You're pleased with today's results?
Absolutely. Yeah, it couldn't be better.
Can you remind us of the extra benefit that you can that the show provides?
Well, the benefit provides. Look out here, and you'll see the camaraderie amongst residents. They have a third thing to talk about, not only each other, but everybody owns a car. Everybody's got a different opinion. We benefit the Bluffton self-help in a material way. We've also got this year, which we haven't had before, is the Pinewood Derby with the younger kids, because the younger kids got to get exposed to more car stuff, in our opinion. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve, for speaking with us today.
You're welcome. More than welcome.
Congratulations to all the winners of this afternoon's car show. And here are our top 3 finishers.
We're at the end of the road, Georgia. The checkered flag is waving.
Or we could just simply say that this is it for the 2023 Sun City Car Show. I think they've outdone themselves this year. We've fought the weather.
Yes, we did.
And we're still here, and we're excited. Thank you, Sun City Car Club, for inviting us back, and thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Take a look at Magnolia Hall parking lot, bejeweled with all these awesome automobiles.